How you doing today? I wanted to talk a little bit about racing and discuss about maybe like why some cars seem to be faster than others, and about like track length and weight of cars and things like that, and how much of a determination is it affect on your race, and how to sometimes not necessarily do fair races, but how to, I don't want to say manipulate, but how to determine, like, how, what angle your track should be on in order to, have a, you know even type of racing and consistent type of racing. So number one, the type of cars, and why are they fast. So I look at stuff like these cars here, which are some of my faster cars, and some are not so fast. Probably my fastest car is either the Hotbird or the Solaire. They're extremely fast. One has an ultra hot, and one is a hot ones. These are really hot one wheel type right there. They need to be, the original hot ones from the 80s, 90s, not the ones that they try to remake and claim they're hot ones, but they're really not. Their weights are approximately, for the Hotbird, it's about 42 grams, and the Solaire is about 58 grams, give or take. Now I have these ones too, but they only go about 40 some grams. One's an ultra hot again, one's a hot ones. But the bottoms are plastic. And this Solaire is metal. And that gives you one little thumbs up, or one little advantage to having a metal base. And as you can see, this hot one is also metal base. But then when I look up here and I look for another one of the exact same model, exact same thing, metal base, right? Metal base, pretty much same year, everything. It's not even close in a race. I mean, this one will win every single time, no matter what lane he's in. And we'll get into lanes and hot lanes and things like that a little bit. So, why is he faster? Well, there's a lot of imperfections in certain cars, and you really can't tell. Weight means very little in how fast a car is. So people will go, "Oh, I'm going to weight up my car." And basically, if you're weighting your cars, you know nothing about racing. Yeah, it's going to be an advantage. So I look at this car, this funny car, and he's 75 grams. But when he races up against Solaire and the Hotbird, 9 times, I'd say 75% of the time, Solaire and Hotbird are going to win. And the weight means very, very little when you're racing. Why? So let's look at the length of your track. If I have a very long track, which is what I prefer, it brings out the natural speed of the car, not just because it's heavy. So if I had a very, very short track, the funny car might win maybe more than 50% at a time. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have it be what's natural for the car. As it starts flattening out, that weight will actually slow the car down. So if you want to have, weighted races and races where weight means a lot, then I would do a very, very short track. But my tracks are going to be anywhere from between 30 and 40 feet, which will really slow these heavy cars down. Pretty much 5 to 10 feet before the finish line, they start dying on their speed. And it's important to maintain got a chill there, sorry. Maintain a flat surface. If you keep having a progressive downhill, then weight can come into an effect. If you're just doing strictly straight down racing, well then yeah, you're gonna go for a car that's heavier. But if you want to go by the natural ability of the car, where it's really like, and I was showing you, you have certain cars that are exactly the same, like these two. The one closer to me is so much faster. And yeah, here's a weight issue. This Solaire will beat these other two Solaires every single time, no matter what lane I put him in, no matter what angle I put him in. And that has more to do with weight in that situation. But it also has to do with wheel type, how the car was constructed. And yes, this one has significantly more grams than the other one. The Red Vets, these are also, it's a combination between weight, which the Red Vet is 47 grams, and it's the metal bottom, and it's having to do a combination of a lot of things like I just discussed. So track length, the longer you keep the track, the better it is going to be for your naturally fast cars. If you want to do an artificial race, and yeah, you can do shorter races or straight down angles, then you're going to, do that. How to do races, or how I do my races. There is no right or wrong way to do a race. If you want to do a one time only, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. And it saves on time and things like that. You don't want to be racing all day for just a few cars. But I always race 4 times, like I've discussed in other times. I will race. So I'll show you my start up here. So if I'm racing, let's say these cars, and I'll put them like this. So lane 1 through, whoa, car just fell. That's one of my fastest cars too. I better be careful with this. They're starting to bail. So after the first race, I will actually shift them down a little bit. And let's say Solaire won the first one. And now they race again. And then let's say Hotbird wins that one. So, well, maybe lane 1 is a hot lane. So why does that happen? Sometimes it could be imperfections in the track, the way the track's going. Sometimes it could be the track itself. Could be little tiny imperfections. It could just be luck. Then I will, again, slide them down again. And let's say this time Solaire wins again. I go, oh, wow. All right. So Solaire's 1-2 and Funny Cars 1-1. So I'll slide them out for the last race. So basically how I'll do it is if the Solaire will advance pretty much no matter what to the next round. Then this one, if I go, well, if Funny Car wins, he advances as well. If Solaire wins this one, then he would advance because he's won 3 races. And let's say Hotbird never loses out of lane 2 for some reason. Don't know why. He has never lost in lane 2. Ever, ever, ever. He's just incredibly unbeatable. So there is a luck factor sometimes in where you get your starting position. You could be right where you want to be. And, he might advance. So right here, I would then, let's say Hotbird wins. So then Solaire would have 2 wins. Funny Car would have 1, and Hotbird would have 1, and then Solaire wins. And I might race him again, later, a couple days later, and it might be a totally different result. But just like any stat or statistics, it's over a longer period of time. That's how it's the probability is that the faster cars are going to go fast. Anybody can get lucky one time. That's why I don't like one race and you're done. Always give them a shot in every lane. The only time I won't do a race in all lanes is if one car has won 3 straight. And then obviously no matter what, it's over. I'm going to be buying a track timer probably within the next week, since it'll be my birthday in a few days. I got, get some birthday money and get a track timer. And then I'll be able to get some legitimate track times. So my track is up here. And it's those boards there. And I put the boards down for stability. And then I lay my track here. They're all connected. And I have the 3D Bot Maker track bottoms right there. And that will help a lot as well. I also I can glue these to the bottom of the track onto the glue them onto the boards. And that way it prevents the tracks from shifting. It fits almost perfectly inside. And that will really, really help. Because every time the cars go down so fast, it's such a violent entry that they will shift the track a little bit. I also created a transference right there. All I did was get a bunch of cardboard and cut them up into little pieces and then taped it. And that way it'll gradually, flow down into the track. You don't really need it, but I like it if I really want to make it stable all the way down. So it's not such a violent transference from angle to straightaway, because my angle is only 6 feet and my straightaway are anywhere from, 24 to 34 feet, depending on how long I want my straightaway to be. Again, I like to have very, very long straightaway. Hot lanes, again, like I said, It depends. It could be, you always have to look at your track and really examine it really close, make sure the lengths are good. You know, any tiny little imperfection when you change from one piece of track to another piece of track, there could be some issues with it. So if I look like this, something like here, there's a tiny little, so if a car's coming this way, it's going to hit that, and that immediately will slow him down enough that it will determine the race. Getting a good visuals on the track is tough too. You really have to look, and it takes time. And if you don't want to put the time in, you know, then don't race. But if you really want to do good racing, you really got to put the time in. Start and finish. Again, I have my gates, start gate, finish gate through 3D Bot Maker. I have my my regular, you know, I have their lane connectors, also 3D Bot Maker. He's a great resource for any kind of track, and now I'm going to buy the track timer from him as well. And I made this little display case it's kind of a prototype for a new one I'm going to do with better quality wood. This wood bends every couple of weeks, so I have to flip it upside down to where the cars all roll off, or they meet in the middle, kind of like what's happening now a little bit. So yeah, weight is one thing I always see. A 3D Bot Maker puts on a lot of races, and he has the custom races, which are really awesome because you never know what's going to happen. Those people are just loading the weights up on a car, and on a track like that, it's unpredictable because there's bends and turns, and you don't know how the race is going to go. On this track, there's very little chance that a car will get lucky. I'm not in about luck. I'm about skill, because I'm a professional. Well, I used to be a professional runner, or you can call me semi-pro. Never won a whole lot of money, but I got a few $1,000s in for a year or so every year. But I no longer am running competitively, so I do my cars and stuff like that. And I've been racing my cars since 1980. No, actually, a little before 80. I actually have stats and stuff and books I can show you and post on there. It shows you my actual races and the results and things like that. And that was only a 2 race. I was 2 cars, and I would race 2 times, once in each lane. And, it was a very short race. So it really wasn't indicative of what real cars can do on Hot Wheel tracks, because I lost my Hot Wheel tracks when I was a kid. And I had like hundreds of feet of track, and I gave them to somebody, let him hold them. He never gave them back, and I'm really pissed. But anyway, that's pretty much it for races. If you have any questions or, or whatever, just hit me up, and I'll get back to you. Also, I'm putting out challenges. Eventually, I may do a mail-ins, and the mail-in would be as such, like I will give you, I'll offer prizes if you have cars that could beat my cars. Doubtful. You won't, as long as they're not modded. You pretty much have no chance. And even if they are weighted down, you're not going to have much of a chance anyway, because some of these cars are just ridiculously fast. These 4 right here, you ain't beating them. The Hotbird, which is the slowest one, not that one, the funny car is the slowest car here. Even though he weighs almost twice as much as the other ones. Just to show you, on a real track, weight means little to nothing. Also this item right here is great for getting these tracks unlocked. A lot of times when you have these little blue tabs, there's no way to separate them, but this fits perfectly right into it. This is actually from my paintball gun, and you push it in there and it pops open it'll push out the blue tabs. I have a bunch of track, so if you look at like this, and as these go in, you can just undo them, and they'll go in, and you just push this down into it. It pushes the track right out, and that's it. So that's basically it. So I just want to go over some racing stuff with you guys, and I hope enjoy your racing, enjoy your collecting, and keep at it. Hope to hear from you soon.